2 more minutes before I get into the subject. Before that, we just introduce ourselves. AnyAudit.in is an ERP into the auditing world. By ERP, what I mean is, just like how the accounting world had grown, and just like how the accounting will get the data from multiple modules like inventory module, production module, payroll and employee module, and the real estate module, etc. Audit has also got multiple wings. Like we have got the planning, we have got data analytics, we have got documentation, we have got work allocation and monitoring. So therefore, auditing is also a function that is having multiple modules, multiple divisions. But however, unfortunately, if we see, we cannot compare the growth of the ERP that is available in the accounting industry with that of the auditing industry. So to bridge this gap, we AnyAudit.in had been promoted by us, by the company Thorugh Audit and GRC Solutions Private Limited. So here we present AnyAudit.in, which is an ERP into the auditing world, and so here it goes. AnyAudit.in. With this, you can automate, as the name goes, we can automate any of the audits, be it statutory audit, internal audit, management audit, forensic audit. So therefore, the speciality is that none of the regulatory is hard-coded, and it is free for us to configure any checklist, any questionnaire, any analytical rule, any documentation process. So it is the methodology that drives, but not the exact content. Okay, so here we present, and in order to cater to the bank audit requirement at this financial year 21-22, we are coming up with this product of automation of bank audit. So we welcome you all, and we convey our heartfelt thanks for you to spare your time and join this webinar to have the presentation on how the bank audit can be automated. Okay. Before I go into the webinar, let us keep this webinar as interactive as possible. In case you have got any questions too, please put it on a question and answer session. Because it is on a webinar mode, you can raise your hand and you can put it in a question and answer session, which we will be taking up at any point of time. This is not a complete workshop kind of a thing, but I will demonstrate the deliverability from this product, how it works and what it delivers. The screen is visible to you and you are able to hear me properly, right? Any feedback from any of our office guys, please? Yeah. Now, when it comes to audit, our first and foremost pain point in audit is the way we organize our audit flow. The way we organize our audit flow. So there will be more than 2 or 3 people working in case if it is a branch audit, or if it is a bigger branches, there will be multiple people who will be working on, and everybody will be using their own kind of Excel or Word or Google Drive to collect the data. Okay. And there will be, the audit will be spanning over multiple days, and there will be multiple audit findings. So therefore, to conclude everything and to bring everything to a logical conclusion and to have it into one binder, that is a dream of every auditor. Okay, so not to spend time on compiling the audit working, but to have one simple documentation. So I'll start with the end. Let me how to use this, how to navigate this, that I will come to it a little later. So first, let me demonstrate the end result, what we are going to do at the end. So I'm going to audit documentation, and I have already built one test case for you, which I will be sharing with all of you along with the data. So you can also take this, practice this experience for your own self. At the end of the session, I will be sharing that. So I'm going and clicking on a final documentation. I'm addressing the first pain point, how to compile, how to organize our total audit working papers. So I'm going to the final documentation, click on that. What this application will do is, in fact, this is the last step. What it will do is it will compile every section. We'll compile every section and put everything into a very nicely codified PDF. So yes, the PDF is ready for us. So I'm opening the PDF and you can see, so audit documentation for a test case bank audit, and you can observe there is a 90-page PDF coming out of the application. So who worked on this? Engagement team. Your engagement team is ready. Okay, what checklists they have used, or what questionnaires, what checklists they have applied. These are the checklists they have applied. Okay. So similarly, you can see every what are the audit findings that are there in the course of action. KYC documents not fed, stock statements not obtained properly. So every audit step, starting from configuration to engagement, you can observe it on the screen. There are around 44 chapters, and all of those 44 chapters are also properly hyperlinked, and you can navigate even within the PDF. So imagine the power of automation, which I'm going to demonstrate now. I've straight away taken up heads on with the concluding output, because that will create the R, and that will create what we are going to build. So we will come to this PDF at the end of our session again, just to see how this PDF is being built gradually, step by step. So you can access, and by the way, let me highlight, it will comply with all the regulations of peer review, QRB, NFRB, or whatever is the regulatory authority. Our audit papers may be subjected to verification even by RBI tomorrow, or we can see the most happening things in the chartered accounting world, that there is the amount of regulatory oversight on the audit working papers is increasing day by day. We have seen a lot of big names in the audit industry coming under the scanner, with NFRA passing some sort of a very tough remarks on them. Okay, so in order to answer that, it is the need of the hour that we must have such a tool where all of our workings is compiled. So you can see audit population, what audit populations are there, what are the milestones, and then what are all the questionnaires that are applied in the course of audit. Like I have applied educational loan, I have applied jewel loan, gold loan, secured overdraft, packing credit questionnaires and all. How many samples are drawn? Who have performed the audit? What are all the findings of the audit? So everything is compiled into one place. Yes, enough we have discussed about the deliverable at the end. Now how to reach up to this stage is in fact the whole of the content of the present day's webinar. Okay, next pain point number 2 which I want to address. Pain point number 2 which I want to address is the having the knowledge at one place. Yeah, that is a major pain point which we are all having, a standardized process. Yeah, we all know that there is a heavy turnover in the article student or the support staff these days. Okay, so unless we have a very clear-cut process laid down in our office, it will be very difficult to communicate the audit process to our staff. And there is a heavy turnover. What if you have trained a person for a certain amount of time and then he leaves an office? It is like you are losing a major part of your office. Okay, and then your new guy comes in with the total zero from the, and we have to do everything grounds up. Okay. So how to handle this pain point? That is the next one where this automation addresses. Now we have got this. I'll just now introduce how to navigate this. Just this is an ERP. What I said is, but it is an ERP to the MSME, like medium and small scale chartered accounting practitioners. Okay, so that is our vision, to bring the automation, and our motto is also empowering auditing profession. So we want to empower the profession as such and bring the power of automation to every chartered accountant's desk. Now, what I am talking about, how to navigate this, because there are a number of menus and all, it somehow resembles the existing applications. Like if you see Finacle, how do you navigate through Finacle? Is there is a menu bar, and you can, all the menu options will be visible. And if you remember the shortcut, like HDU I'm typing, there is a shortcut which you can go up to. Okay, of course, what are the shortcuts, how to practice, or what that we will give as a user manual. Anyway, how to navigate, you can click on this menu, all the options will be visible. There is a search functionality, and I'm saying tool settings of audit. Okay. So this way you need not remember anything, just type wherever you want to go, it will take you to that. So if you want to add a user, I'm saying add user, that's it. Okay, so if I want to add an assignment, go here, add an assignment. Sorry, And there is a shortcut also, keyboard shortcut, press Alt M or Option M in case it is a Mac, and then you have to press whatever you want, like add assignment. And not only that, it is also intelligent in terms of language. Somebody may say, instead of add assignment, somebody may put create assignment. Even then it will take to the same spot. So therefore you can be very free with your choice of words. All the semantical differences, the system is intelligent enough to take you through. Now I want to discuss about the knowledge part. So you go to the tools. AnyAudit comes preloaded with a bundle of checklists, questionnaires, and reports. So I'm going to questionnaire. You can observe there will be a huge knowledge bank made available to you. So these are all the various questionnaires you can see. At present, I have only pulled some relevant questionnaires. It comes pre-bundled with more than 100 questionnaires. So there is a questionnaire on documentation, appraisal, early warning signals and red flagged accounts, credit cards, term loans. So every checklist or questionnaire that you want in the course of action is kept at your disposal ready-made. Okay, let us say if you want to see the bills purchased and discount, I want to go into that questionnaire. It comes preloaded with all the questions. Check whether the accounts are created only after the bills are collected. Check that the bills sent for collection from one branch are not amalgamated twice. And then like that, what are all the things that we have to verify in the course of audit? All of them were preloaded. And not only that, you can create any questionnaire you want. Okay, so nothing is hard-coded, I repeat. So you can create your own questionnaire, but there is no such a need because it comes preloaded with almost every possible area, and more particularly regarding the bank audit, if this be the case. So you can see CCOD accounts, jewelry or gold accounts, educational loans. So these are all on a banking products. Now, if you go to the auditing standards, all the auditing standard related questionnaires are also pre-built, like written representation, what is a care that is required, use of the work of a concurrent auditor or internal auditor, which we tend to do more in case of bank audits. So all of that questionnaires and checklists are all pre-built. Okay. Not only that, all the reports that we have to give at the end of our audit, all of them are also pre-built. Now, if you go to reports section, so this gives the power. This gives the power of power to your audit, and you can straight away get into the audit the next minute you start the audit. Okay, the setting time is totally taken care of. Now, these are all the reports that we give at the end of the audit report in case of a bank audit, LFAR, Ghosh, Jilani committee reports and all. Now, if you go into LFAR, it captures every paragraph of LFAR, and every one of these paragraphs becomes a callable entity. Okay, so this is a next pane. Similarly, we have to issue many annexures to these LFARs. Okay. Like in a sense, every observation that we have to give will form into one report, one annexure. So you can see there are about 97 different types of annexures that were brought to your desk. Okay. Now, this confirms to almost we have compiled all the public sector banks, State Bank of India, Union Bank, every bank that we have considered. And in their closing circular, whatever all the LFAR annexures that they have provided, every one of them were compiled and the duplications were removed and the annexures were given, like expired guarantee. This is one annexure which we have to give as an annexure to the LFAR. Okay, now all of them were captured and put it in one place. So this gives the power of having a very wide access to the knowledge. So apart from automation, the main deliverability that we bring to the desk, the main value addition that we bring to the desk is the knowledge. Okay, and all the recent circulars, you call it as COVID-19 related circulars, or you call all the recent circular, everything is provided in this knowledge bank. So it comes preloaded with a knowledge bank, which is also a complementary or rather a compound product with this. Now, let me show how we can use this application. So we have seen that there is a lot of knowledge flowing into this. Everything is good. Now, how do we apply or how do we perform our audit with this application? Now, I'm going into the practical thing of that. So once you log in, this is how the first screen looks like, and you can log into the assignment. Now, this is my assignment. So I just have taken test as a, because it is a demo version, and I have taken bank audit as a name of the assignment. Now, this goes into a modular structure, and these are all the various modules. Let me introduce various modules that are there. So there is a master configuration, and there is a data collection module, analytical module, preparation of the financial statements, which we need not do in a bank audit, of course, and the assignment level procedures, substantial testing, that is the watching that we have to do, recording of the findings, generation of the reports, generation of audit documentation, and the sign off. Okay. So these are the various modules, and these are all linked in their natural sequence. Okay, let me start with the configuration and how do we configure our audit. Okay, I have already configured. So if you go to the configuration menu, this gives us a chance to pull any checklist or questionnaire that we want to use from our knowledge bank. So if you go here, there are tools which we are going to apply here. So from this, you can pull any of the other checklists. Like I want to use SA 240, SA 210 into this. So I can just pull from my library whichever checklist or questionnaire or report or annexure that I have to use in my application. And not only that, the peculiarity of the bank audit is we tend to start, before we start our audit, there is a whole battery of audits that have already happened on the bank. Okay, there might have been a concurrent audit, there might have been an RBI inspection, there might have been an head office inspection. So therefore, the peculiarity and the speciality of the bank audit is we have to deal with work of other auditors. Now, how do we do that? So let me start and let me put it into a natural process where to start and where to conclude. So I'm starting with work of other experts, concurrent auditor, inspection, revenue leakage, and all of these audits which will happen prior to our visiting the statutory bank audit, prior to our starting the statutory bank audit. Okay. Now, how do I record findings by others? Like before I start the audit, there are findings by others. How do I record? I'm going to findings by others. So it is not a documentation tool. Let me warn or let me highlight that this is not a documentation tool. We have got small documentation tools in the market, which will help us to put every document at one place. Similarly, there are some work management tools where who had done which work and which work is pending. There are small work management tools, but rather this is a complete audit tool. In a sense, you can do your audit here itself. So I'm starting with a use case. I went to a bank. I started my bank. I went with my 2 or 3 article students or audit staff. So now what I want to is I want to first capture the findings made by others, because they are of higher risk and naturally we cannot afford to miss them. So I'm going to findings by others. You can go and add a finding. So let us say there is a legal audit or head office inspection. In the head office inspection page number 40, it is said that the frequency of unit visit by the branch needs to be increased. This is a finding that is there in page 40. So I'm saying HO page 40. So this is the finding made by others by the head office inspection. So like that, we can have number of findings that are already there even prior to our entering the bank. Okay. So similarly, I can capture all of my concurrent audit findings, all of my head office inspection findings. I can also ask the branch manager to keep them ready in an Excel file, which I can, instead of typing, I can upload it if you have that Excel file. Okay, so I'm starting a thread. So this is a finding made by head office, or this is a finding made by concurrent audit. So what is our natural next step as an auditor, statutory branch auditor? Okay, we may escalate it into our memo. We may escalate it into our memo, or we may escalate it to our LFAR, or we may escalate it to put it under Ghosh or a Jilani committee report. Okay, so now to this observation, what is my natural answer? I may escalate it to my memo. Wherever this orange icon with this icon is there, it represents a memo. So if I click on a memo, what happens is the finding will naturally flow into a memo. Okay, so this is my audit memo. So what I'm saying is the credit appraisal, or what you call, say, the review and monitoring. Review and monitoring needs to be strengthened. This is my finding. I'm just putting it. So I'm submitting it to my senior, or if I'm doing it alone, I'll put my own name. Now the beauty is you can tag it to your LFR from here itself. Okay. So the moment you start an audit, from your first finding, you can start them putting it in their proper place, and they are all auto tagged. And it may also so happen that one finding may be relevant to be put under multiple reports, or even one finding can be put under multiple paragraphs of a same report. The application accommodates the all. So I can say go to LFR and go to review. So all of your LFR is already captured. So therefore deficiencies in review and monitoring, you click on that. So it was already there. So similarly, it may also be relevant to be put under another paragraph of LFR. Okay, let us say I'm saying credit appraisal. Of course, not a good example. Yeah, I'm shortcomings in credit appraisal, because if it is a pre-unit inspection, it could also be a credit appraisal issue. Not a bad example, in fact, though. So this is my finding. Review from monitoring needs to be strengthened, and I'm mapping it to multiple columns. So therefore, you need not use Excel, Word, Google Drive, sort, or multiple places, and it is on cloud. So every person's finding will fall in a natural groove, fall in a natural place. Okay, let us remember these two things: shortcoming in credit appraisal, deficiency in review and monitoring. Fine. Now I'm updating this. Yeah, the present status screen. Now I have recorded my memo. So this has become my observation. This has become my observation. Now, if I go to my report, my final report, so click on this, go to my LFR. What are the observations that I have made? You can see all of them are tagged here. So this makes our life easy. This makes our life easy. And whenever you want to issue your LFR, what happens is from day 1, day 2, day 3, 2 people or 10 people, all of their findings will be in a natural flow, just like in an accounting package, your daybook entry is automatically linked to the final bank account. Okay, similarly, you can have a flow, and you can also drill down, like KYC documents not collected, in which case where you can have a drill down, come back to the next step. Okay, you can have a further drill down, who gave this issue, click again, you will go to the next step of the previous audit. So therefore, you will have a drill down facility, and you can navigate from one screen to the another screen in its natural thread. So therefore, I addressed the third major pain point. Okay, so I just keep tagging what it delivers, the pain points that it will address, and the benefits that will bring to your profession. Firstly, all documentation is automatic. Okay, I could have very well made it into a PowerPoint, but then I just love doing this way. Okay, only when it is proved, not as a upfront kind of a thing. So all documentation is automatic, and then all knowledge required, all the audit know-how is pre-built and can be customized. And all audit flow is captured. So right from, I started not with our finding, I started with the finding of my other person, like my concurrent auditor or the head office inspection. And from there, I have taken it to the next level. I have taken it to the next level. I owned it up. I made it into my observation. and then I have put it into LFR. And if I had gone into the LFR, all my findings were escalated and then captured there. So all the audit flow. So in a sense, from findings to memos to communication to reporting to documentation. All of these things are already captured. Okay. Now I'm just starting it backward. Maybe I started with my ultimate end result. And then I started going it backward. So I just address the next one. The next major thing is, we know that bank audit is an intense activity. Any questions, by the way? Sorry, there was one question. I'm sharing my screen. So audit observations may not be reportable. Some may get dropped by explanation offered by the auditor or further audit procedures performed by us. Whether we can drop the observation linked to certain report. This is by one Mr. Koteshwar Rao. So it's a beautiful question. Let me take it up. So what it does is, you can see in my audit memo, my audit memo may be recorded not by me. If it is a 2-member team, my next person might have recorded this. So if you just go into one by one, there is a status of compliance. Okay. So how can it be closed? It could be still pending. It could be complied and closed. It could be not complied and closed as it is and captured into my LFR. Okay. So this tagging will help us in putting it into a proper perspective. Okay. So therefore, it is exactly fine-tuned and it is exactly calibrated to our audit requirements. Okay. In the introduction, I said I'm a chartered accountant with 2 decades of work experience, and I have been a part of branch audits and also the central statutory audits of both banks and public sector undertakings and few listed companies. So therefore, what is an exact audit requirement and our workflow? So it goes in the same. So you can see in the case of audit memo, there is a way to close this. So if you put it complied and closed, and we can say that it is closed, then what happens is, the fact that we have captured this observation and the point that we have dropped it because it is complied is also captured. And not only that, if you want to put any evidence here itself, there is a facility to attach. So if you want to attach anything, I'm just attaching this screenshot. I can also attach any of my observations, that it could be a JPG image, it could be a PDF, it could be a Word or Excel document. Okay. So therefore, in the audit flow management, it is not that every finding has to find its place in the ultimate report. Exactly, yes. Okay. And there is also a maker checker concept. So therefore, the moment I approve it, no more edits are possible on a same document, same note. Okay. And if I update, you can also see there is a unique number generated by the system for our purpose. Now, if you see inspection remark 1, inspection remark 2, inspection remark 3, and inspection remark 4. Okay. Hope I answered that question. Not only that, you can also sort your memos based on their compliance. Now, if I say, now there are 4 items on a screen. Now, if I want to see only pending items, I'll see only, okay, maybe nothing are under pending. And if I say complied and closed, I could see only a few documents, only one is there. Okay. Now, if I want to see by ranking, what are all the observations with the high risk? So if I put under high risk, only 2 have come. Now, if I want to go by moderate risk, so observations with moderate risk, I can see by them. So I can filter my audit memos based on the person who gave, based on the person who is finalizing, based on which report it will go under, based on how much risk it carries, based on my present status, based on whether it is open or a closed item. So you can monitor your audit in a way you want. And not only that, if you want to pull everything into one PDF and share it, you can have a PDF facility then and there. Not the full PDF I am talking about, only a local PDF for only audit memos. So if I see user findings in case of the bank audit, 4 are there. So it's a small PDF which is generated at the go, then and there. Okay, hope I answered your question. Yeah, banks have their own software. This is from Niraj Lahoti ji. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Thank you. Banks have their own software for LFR. How does this software link to the bank software? Yeah. Here, banks have got their own software. That is one very good thing that is happening. But that software is only to monitor or manage their audit flow. At the end, what is our working paper? At the end, what is our working paper? So how this helps is we cannot link it to the bank software because banks will not share the API. If banks share the API, we can very well ensure that whatever you put it LFR here or whatever you put it under any other section, it will go straight fit into the bank's software. Possible. But now banks will not allow that. Now, let us say on the day of closure, you are supposed to give an LFR to the banker. Okay. Now, what finding you will record in the LFR of the bank? You can simply go to your LFR in this and copy paste that finding there. Okay. The flow of our audit starting from beginning to the ending is captured here. Now, if you go to your audit reports, LFR, or not only LFR, any other report for that matter. So what happens is whatever the answer that I gave here or whatever the observations that are linked to this, they will automatically go in, sit into that finding. And at the end, if you take your documentation, you must have something to carry. You must have something to prove tomorrow to NFRA or the quality review board, or if you are a review partner with multiple partner firm, if you are reviewing, you can review the work done by your own staff at a later point of time. Okay, so that is the main deliverability here. Of course, a day may come where banks may permit this to be linked. Hopefully, if that comes, it will be even more good for us, sir. We will deliver that also. Yeah, I just came here to show one. Yeah, you can see here in our documentation, I have just generated this document at the starting of my session. So if you see the LFR, this is LFR as printed out from this software. So for every question, the answer that is there, of course, I have not given the answer, so they are blank. So every question will be followed by our answer. So this is the answer that we have given that we can have a track of. Not only that, all findings that are mapped to that LFR, so given by admin, observation date so-and-so, under this particular heading of LFR, these are the findings of audit. I have not done anything to do this. It is all automated. It is all system driven. Okay, that's it. And yeah, so those are the questions so far. Anyway, I keep checking questions now and then. Please post your questions, sir. Thanks for the questions first. Now let me go to the another major pain point. I'll resume to my story and a narrative. Bank audit is a very intense and very time-bound activity. We have to complete our audit in very, very small time frame. Okay, so without analytics, without using CAD tools, without using some sort of data analytics, it is not possible for us to make a meaningful audit. And moreover, now the LFR is asking us to give what are all the samples that we have drawn. Okay, so it is not sufficient to say that we have performed our audit and have taken proper samples. No. So it is imperative for us to go use the analytics, because analytics is one that saves us huge amount of time. Now let us see the power of AnyAudit.in in terms of analytics. Now again, I go to the first screen. So these are my modules. Now I just introduce the data collection module for a minute and then I jump to analytics. So this is the data collection module. If you click on this, data collection, yeah, for every like advances, bank statement, bill discount, fixed deposits, locations, or anything, or for all the data sets, it comes with a facility to upload your Excel or upload your data directly. Okay. We're also releasing a version that converts your PDF or a text file into organized structured file. Okay. So maybe that is not pre-loaded or pre-packed into this, that we will be giving as a separate add-on. But we are not still fully done with that. Now let me resume to this. So these are the advances. You can see there are about 3,000 advances. Of course, it is a real-time data, but I have morphed and changed the numbers to safeguard the confidentiality and privacy of that. So there are around 2000 and odd advances of multiple schemes of a bank. Now, how I upload this data? How I uploaded this data is, you can go here. There is an Excel upload facility. So click on this. So this will allow you to pull the Excel data into this. You choose the Excel file and upload the Excel file. It will automatically come and sit in this format. So that is how I have pulled the data, not only of advances, but you can collect any data. For example, there may be fixed deposits listing, there may be bill discounted listing, there may be bank statement listing. Okay, so you can play around with any data set that you have got. Any questions? Yeah, how can we collect data and select a sample? Yes, sir, that is exactly what I'm now going to. It is Manasa Vema. Yeah, I think Miss Manasa, I'm going there only. And then the next question is by Neeraj Lahoti ji again. Can we download reports from Finacle and run this report in software and find the non-compliances or other issues? Exactly, yes, sir. I'm just heading up to that. Okay, now I go into see the power of analytics, audit analytics. So we have got multiple ways to do the analytics. Okay. Now, before we go into the analytics, what is our roadmap? What is our roadmap? How do we go for what our auditing standard says is we have to do a risk weight and a risk assessment. We have to do that. So therefore, how do we pick up a sample? How do we pick up a sample and all? I'm just going to discuss. So I'm going to pick up, I'm just taking full data. Yeah, because it is a little I'm sorry, I picked up a wrong sample. Just 1 second. Yeah, so I'm going to advances. So filtered it out. Now I'm getting the total loans and advances without any filtering. Without any filtering. Okay. Now this is the total loan ledger of the bank. The total loan ledger of the bank. Of course, we cannot make anything because it is a huge data. Oops. I press the backspace. Now I want to visualize this data first before I jump into anything else. I just want to visualize this and see the spread of the sanctioned amount. So how can I do that? There is a descriptive statistics and graph. So you can click on this and I want to bisect the whole data into, let us say, 10 buckets. You can change it into 10, 20, whatever it is. And I'm going by sanctioned amount. Okay. So I'm going sanctioned amount. So what it does is how the loan portfolio is across the branch. So this is my total, some 53 crore is the total advances of this branch spread into 22,000 accounts. So we can do the same in Excel also, but it is very time consuming and it requires a lot of prior knowledge of Excel also. Okay. So what it does is it is a very simple user interface where everything is done automatically on its own. Now you can see out of that almost 1912 accounts are falling into the first bucket of less than 1 crore 50. But there are certain stray cases, 2 accounts here, 1 account here, and 1 account here, which are way above, way away from the average of this branch. So very simple. We are able to see the whole branch in one snapshot. Okay. Now, it may be not proper. because it comes because maybe all of these advances could be having agricultural loans and industry loans, every loans. So you may ask a question, can I first filter and then visualize? Yes, that is also possible. So what I'm doing is, from out of loans and advances, first of all, I'm going for scheme. So from data, I'm selecting scheme. You can see the scheme and you can write your own query. This is the beauty of this. So what I'm writing is loans and advances data scheme, which contains gold. So naturally, what I get to see is all the gold loans. Now, from out of 2000 and odd, loans, now when I run the filter, it will fetch me only those loans where the scheme has got gold. So you can see the gold loan here. You can see the gold loan here. So now this is a gold loan portfolio. This is a gold loan portfolio, and you can see there are only maybe this is a complete gold loan branch. 1000 are gold loans, almost 50% are gold loans, or maybe gold whatever it is. So now can I visualize? Yes. Now imagine doing the same in another analytical tool. It will take you a lot of time, because here we are running a filter and I'm going for a visualization of the same sanctioned amount, but this sanctioned amount will apply on this filter. Now you see there is a slight change in the distribution. Okay. Now I want to pick up this 75 as my sample or my first sample. Okay, because they are away from the average. They are away from the average, or these 5 because they are a little far off from the average. So I am just picking up this. So click on that. Only those 5 will become your sample. So you can see only those 5 will come appear on that as our sample. Now what I can do is I can select them. I can select those 5 and I can apply I can see analytics. You can do either in Excel, or there are lot of analytical tools also, like to say Power BI is there, Tableau is there. But the problem with all of them are they are standalone analytical tools. Now what happens if we do the analytic? What is our next step? Now I want to select them and I want to apply some sort of an audit function on this. Now I want to scope. From out of this sample, I want to scope, and what I want to scope is, see, now all the library, all the checklists and questionnaires that you have got, that you can tag from here itself. So the questionnaire is there, go and apply, so jewelry and gold loan. Or if your sample is educational loan, go and apply educational loan. If your sample is a packing credit, go and apply your packing credit. Okay, so in just like in a Jiffy, you take this, automatically you apply the filters through analytics. Automatically you can select your sample, and not only that, you can also document the way you selected the sample. I will just demonstrate it again. So I'm just applying the gold loans here, and who has to perform. So in case of a bigger team, or maybe 5 to 6 member team, it becomes relevant. So I'm just applying that Bhargav has to do, and it has to be approved by admin. And then I also save this as my analytical log function as well. Okay. So automatically it gets saved into my documentation that I have picked it as my final sample. Okay. So that way it allows us to do the activity of sample selection, and also work allocation, both at a same time. Now I said, how do we document our analytics? That is what I'm discussing about. How do we analyze our documents? Yeah, sir, different banks have different. There is one question from Koteshwar Rao. Yeah, different banks have different data formats. Can we apply the document in the format, or we have to convert it into a predefined format? That's a beautiful question. Whatever I'm missing out in my discourse, I'm getting a chance to answer them by way of answering the questions. Now you see, if you go to these advances and push on the Excel file, you push on the Excel file, it will first ask us to push the Excel file. Let us say I'm putting some Excel file. Send me one sample Excel file. I'll come to that, Mr. Koteshwara. There is no way, there is no requirement for us to pre-process the data. You can map them into the standard columns. That is my first answer, but yet I will demonstrate that. Quite often we come across an individual with multiple SIFs. How can we capture it in the software? It is automatically captured, sir, because there is a customer name and customer ID. The moment the customer ID is same, it is by NBA Ramanamurthy Garu. Yeah, the moment the CIFs are same, they are all auto-integrated. I'll just show that as well. I got my sample data. So to answer the question, I have taken this DC advances and I'm trying to push it into my software. So what it does is it will read the Excel columns. Yeah, these are the Excel columns on the right hand side, and these are the columns to be mapped into the software. Okay, so therefore, whatever the Excel file you bring, the columns that it will go, the destination columns are fixed. So amount of deposit, amount of provision, or you say some number of EMIs, EMI start date, EMI total due. It is not mandatory you have to map every column. It is not mandatory that the Excel file you bring shall have all the columns. Not possible also at times. So therefore, let us say wherever it is, a branch name or customer name, whatever it is, into the customer name, I am mapping the most relevant column from my Excel. So it is a name borrower. See, it is name without any space borrower. That is how it is there in Excel. So the major problem with all data analytics softwares is they tend to fail here. But here we have got a mapping facility where you map the Excel file into the software. So therefore, irrespective of the number of columns, irrespective of the name of the column, the software had a ability to speak to the Excel file. Hope that answers your question. Okay, and let me go into one more topic, that is documenting sampling. I just had discussed sampling. Now I will say documenting your sampling. Now I'm going to advances again. I'm going to data, but I'm writing a query here. I'm writing a query where sanctioned amount is greater than 5 lakhs. I'm going by that. So where my sanctioned amount is greater than 5 lakhs, so those accounts are being filtered out. Now I got only fewer accounts, 144. Okay. Now I have a facility to park them somewhere. I have a facility to park them somewhere, or I can straight away go into the facility. So what I'm doing is I'm just parking them into one arbitrary, dummy column by name filter L, and I'm giving it a value 1, and I'm saying is demo on 25th, or you can say Union Bank, or we can say restructured loan sampling. Restructured loan sampling. So this is my tag. Just like Twitter will have a tag, we are also giving a tag. That's it. So I have applied the tag. I'll show the magic. So my first step is done. Now what I am doing is, from out of that, where my scheme contains restructured, where my scheme name contains the word, use containing, that is better than equals to. So I'm putting restructure. Now I'm rerunning the same sample again. Now I got only 2 as my sample. So what are my queries? So I'm again pushing it to my logbook because I felt that is also important. Restructured loan sampling. With the tag, I have pushed it to my documentation. So there somebody has asked, will everything go to documentation? No. Only if you do this specific step, it will go to the documentation. Otherwise, everything that you play around need not go to the documentation. Now, what I am doing is, this is my sample. This is my sample in case of restructured advances. So I have applied certain steps, like where it is restructured, where the amount is greater than 5 lakhs, where date is in the last quarter, something like that. Now I can apply my audit work from here itself. So I can scope it to the questionnaire. In the questionnaires, there will be a restructured consortium banking, documentation, term loan. Maybe I have not pulled the restructured. Sorry for that. I'll apply consortium banking, let us say. So to be done by Mr. Pavan, to be approved by admin, and I'm also saving this. So I am saving it as a restructured loan. Restructured loan sample. So for consortium banking, my sample size comprises of 2. I'll just verify. I'll just explain on substantial testing now. Now, let me go and show the analytical log that had developed so far. So there is a facility of analytics log. So what happens is every action that is saved by you on screen while performing analytics, if you choose to record, that will be saved. Okay. So this is my restructured loan sampling, how I did. These are the steps. So this is the documentation. So from out of loans and advances, based on sanctioned amount greater than 5 lakhs, it had fetched 144 records. From out of that, where the scheme name is restructured, it fetched me 3 records. And on the 3 records, I have applied the questionnaire consortium banking or restructured account banking, whatever it is. Okay. So this way, what it gives, what it does is, even the way, so this is what we have to face in case of something goes wrong in a bank, some fraud happens or some way, then we can say that, see, this is the way I applied my analytics. This is the way I have taken my sampling. Now for gold loans, can we apply another sampling? Absolutely yes. For educational loan, can we apply a different sampling? Absolutely yes. Okay. And can we pre-write these rules? That is the power. Can we pre-write these rules even before the start of the bank audit and ask the software to apply them? Yes, that is also possible. That is also possible. Let me show. For that I have to leave the application and go to the settings page. So I'm going to the settings page now. I'll show the power of automation, the real power of automation. So I'm going to settings. And in that, what I'm doing is, even before going to the bank, I'm first generating my rules. What rule I can write is, I can say on my advances, I'm writing a rule by name, rule for selection of gold loans. Rule for selection of gold loans. Okay. So I'm just making this rule for selection of gold loans. So you can define the data. Okay. Once you define the data, this you can apply. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a demo version, and I think I have to change one settings here. It is asking me to upgrade the package. But anyway, that is also there. What I can do is the same steps that I have done on my audit data. What I can do is I can pre-write those rules and ask the software to perform. Then what happens is, on a real data, it will perform it automatically. That's it. Nothing, no more change. Or just enable or any admin at AnyAudit. Yeah, that will be enabled by the end of the webinar. No issue on that. So let me go into the resume with my session. Any questions so far? Reports generated by Finacle is not in Excel format. Can the software pick up the data from Finacle reports directly is a question. Yes, sir. This particular software, our only way to upload the data is Excel. Okay. But then we have released a tool that converts the text file into Excel. But the problem is, the text file formats are differing from bank to bank, and even within a bank from branch to region. Okay. So we have a facility. If you give that text file, not the full data, but whatever the text file for what you want, the convertibility, that we can build it and give it on a case-to-case basis. You need not share the data with us, but we will give the user ID and password. Where you push the text file, you will get the Excel file downloaded, okay, from your own system. But that Excel file you can use in this application. But in this application, as any audit, there is no facility to convert the Finacle text reports to Excel file directly. So that we are offering as a separate utility. It's a clear add-on. But the only tagline with that is that add-on will change from every bank and every branch. Okay, so if you can give us the details of the bank and the branch, or the bank and the format at least, then we can give it on an add-on basis. That add-on will help you to convert it into Excel, and that Excel you can bring it and put it here. Okay, anyway, let me resume with my flow. So again, back to analytics. Let me go to another important area of auditing, that is risk gradation or risk mapping. So what the risk gradation asks us to do is we have to grade our sample based on the risk. So how do we do that? What are the processes available? Just let me show you. Now, before that, I said go to your settings and create the risks that you want. Again, the software comes preloaded with a lot of risks. You can use them or you can create your own. So I'm going to risks. In the risk parameters, we have created certain risks that are relevant for a bank audit. See, there is a group exposure risk, related party risk, newly sanctioned account risk. If an account is newly sanctioned, they will carry a lot of credit appraisal risk. If the number of TOLs are more, that is one risk. Certain industries are sensitive. Let us say, maybe if certain industries, realtor industry is not good, let us say, during the recent times, then we can put a sensitivity around that industry. Sensitive area risk. Let us say this particular area is earthquake prone or had suffered earthquake, and units under that may be like that, may be subjected to that. Excessive overdraw risk. In case of limited companies, it could be a capital market connected risk, or a political risk, or a forex volatility risk. So almost all the risks that have to be captured in case of a bank audit, we have put it. In case of a very small branch, agri branch, maybe this risk assessment cannot or need not be done also. Rather, we can give a one finding and then close it off also. But in case of a reasonable sized branch, it may be relevant, or it is a part of our audit function as per the auditing standards. So my risk parameters are done. My next step is to link my risks to the advances, or risks to the data collection or data set. So here what I did is, for my advances, I have captured certain risks. Sectoral risk I have captured. So I captured newly sanctioned risk, sensitive industry risk. I'm also capturing it as capital market risk. Let us say these three risks I have taken, or excess overdrawal risk. These three I have taken. So these three are the risks that I want to capture on that, and I want to perform my analytics and score them for my risk assessment. So I'm going into my analytics again. So that is my footboard, or rather most of the functions are done through this screen of analytics. So now what I'm writing is, I'm writing some query like from loans and advances, get where scheme contains infra, let us say. I'm not sure whether any such accounts are there. Yeah, there are none of them are there. Cement sector is there under scheme. Okay. Borrower name containing let us say steel and cement. I'm going with cement. So I have got some 17 accounts. Okay. So the borrower name is Ramco Cement or some other Maha Cement and all. So let us say cement is prone for high sensitivity in this particular quarter, let us say. So out of that, what I am doing is I am again filtering it out and taking out where the sanctioned amount or outstanding amount is greater than 1 lakh, or because 1 lakh, less than 1 lakh, I need not consider anyway. So I'm going by outstanding amount is greater than, let us say 1 lakh. So now what I did is I have picked up a sector. Out of that sector, I have gone by, so now my sample is still down, still reduced. You can see there are only 15 accounts. Now what I'm doing is I'm further filtering it out and going by some sanctioned date or so, but I'm not very sure about this data set. So therefore I'm not venturing into that anymore. So now what I'm doing is for all of these accounts, for all of these selection, I'm mapping them for my risk scoring. So what risk scoring I'm giving? They are all in a sensitive industry risk. And I'm putting it a value of 5 over a scale of 5, or maybe 4 over a scale of 5. So say that cement accounts issued during last year with outstanding amount greater than 10 lakhs. 10 crores, whatever. So again, I'm putting it a tag. What is this? Cement sector audit or sensitive sector audit. That's it. So what had happened is they are all mapped or scored for my risk rating of 4. So similarly, I can play around and then I can give some risk weightage to each particular industry or each particular borrower type, each particular region type also. Okay. So this way we can almost, it is less than half an hour since I started this particular analytical tool and the discussion on that. Over a 5,000 advanced kind of a data, I've got a fairly clear grip over that now. So I can visualize this, I have already shown, and we can also have a random sampling to be done here. So if you click on this random, and ask the data to pick, there are around 10 or 15. So I am just asking to pick a random percentage of 25% of the total data. The system will pick a random number for me without any bias. So therefore, there are around 12 accounts. So therefore 25% round figure, 2 number has come, whatever it is. So therefore we have a randomization function here. We have a visualization here. We can pre-write the rules and apply it over there. And we can also select them and wait it for a risk. And there is also a way to call back all the accounts with such a risk. See, audit population risk weights. So what I can do with this is, yeah. So there are certain accounts with newly sanctioned account. Now what I can do is I can group it by subject wise or I can group it by risk wise. So if I group it by risk wise and select it from my advances and search, I'll get it by risk. Okay. So these are my excessive overdrawn or sensitive industry risk areas. So this way I have got a listing of the accounts. They are all flagged into my risk wise, and I can further drill down and I can do my analysis or I can do my sampling. Okay, so the possibilities are huge. And you can play around with your data, pick your sample, throw it to your staff, and they will do it, or you yourself can do it as a pre-audit before going to the branch. Get the data, analyze it. You will have a fair idea on that. Now, sometimes it may also so happen that we are not given access to the we are not having access to the data. Then what to do? All of these analytics and all will come into play. All of these analytical log or interlinking, all of these will come into play only when we have the access to the data. So I'm just going to the next pain point. All of these analytics I have discussed. My next point is no access to data. So this may happen in case we are working out with smaller branches. Okay, or maybe there is a non-cooperation, or maybe the data is given but it is not readable. Okay, it cannot be converted into Excel. It is into a very cryptic format kind of a thing. Then what to do? Simple. You may not be able to doing this analytical arm, but rest of this we can anyway use. So the data collection has got an interface to build the data on your own. So therefore, what you do is you pick up the sample elsewhere. You pick up the sample by other means. You pick up the sample by random selection or whatever it is. You come here. I'll just take a blank data set. Let us say fixed deposit data is not available for me. Okay, banks are not ready to share that fixed deposit data, or the Finacle is not giving it. So on a screen, I have selected certain data. On the Finacle screen itself, I have selected certain data. So what to do? You can come and add manually only the sample part. Now let us say name of the fixed deposit FD4534, amount of deposit let us say 1 crore, amount at the time of maturity. I'm just skipping it off because it is all, you can relate it easily. My only point is, you can, the name of the bank, I think it says a fixed deposit not required. So I'll select, or I'll record only those observations where I want to pick up my sample. So I'll just pick up another one, FD434. So this way, if you are not having access to the whole of the data, then the sampling you do it on their system. Like in some banks, they are not allowing their data to be given in even in Excel, even in text file, whatever. They give access only to their dedicated systems. So then what you can do is, you can do the work there, come up with the sample through some other means of whatever the data analytical tool they may provide or whatever. You just record only your sample, and on the whole of the sample, you can start with the flow. Like you can apply the sample, can apply the scoping, questionnaire, and from out of the questionnaire, you can go for term loan, early warning signal, or appraisal, or whatever it is, educational loan, jewel loan, or packing credit. Let us say it is a bill purchased or discounted, to be done by so and so person, to be approved by so and so person, and rest of the audit flow, whatever I said, scoping, execution, recording a memo, issuing a report, all of this will flow. So therefore, it is not mandatory that we can use this application only when we have access to the whole of the data. And this is not a standalone analytical tool also. Okay, the power of it comes in the infrastructure of the audit, the knowledge bank that it provides, the exact placement of each item in its own location. Okay, then let me go into the next area of the exact execution of the audit. I got a lot of pain points in this area, execution of audit. What happens? This analytics we can do in our office once we got the data. But when it comes to execution of the audit, where to record the finding or which questionnaires to apply. So I have been selecting them, and I have been applying to various tools and toolkits so far. So all of those selections which I have made are already appearing in the substantial testing. Okay, so we all know substantial testing is a in-depth study of the selected sample. So you go to the substantial testing. So whatever are already picked up as your sample and pending, you can see the item number 152. So these are all the pending items. The system will show an item count at every point of time. So I'm going to a questionnaire. In the questionnaires, there is a consortium banking, bills purchased and discounted. I'm going into bills purchased and discounted. In the bills purchased and discounted, I have taken a sample of 2. I can answer, I can fill my working paper here itself. So whatever is a questionnaire that I have already given, you can see those questions are appearing on a right hand side. So any other, check if the bills purchased are close to the year end. Discount received should be properly apportioned between the 2 years in case there is a spillover or rollover. So like that, these are the accounts. So the user, or we can record our audit findings here itself. So I can go answer it here and say that whether the accounts are credited only for the bills that are collected. Yes, it is noticed, it is ensured. It is ensured that the same are created. If you want to create any audit evidence, you can create your audit evidence here itself. You can go here, attach here, choose the file to upload, and you can upload the same. So you can record, you can PDF, video file, whatever the file that is there. So therefore everything falls into place. Okay. Then it may be cumbersome also, because if you take the questionnaire is having 10 questions and you have picked up a sample of 10, it will make 10 into 10, 100 to be answered. Okay. Is there any other way out? Yeah, you can do a multi-selection. So rest of the questions are all positive. So therefore there is no point in going into each cell and saying yes, yes, yes. So instead you can do a bulk selection and answer them in one go. Okay. We have to have this facility, otherwise it will be very time consuming. As I said, bank audit itself is a very time consuming activity. Similarly, you can also see the approver name is admin and the doer name is Bharat. Except these two people, none of the other of the office members can answer or do this, but they can view the same. Okay, so everything goes by a maker checker. You can also have a bulk selection and approve them all, say that it is approved, and then the status change. So all of them will turn into green, and you can see the color of it has changed into green, and they are all approved. So therefore it provides us a way or a platform and the knowledge of the questionnaires, and also gives us a way to capture those findings and record them here. Okay, so that's it. So this becomes my substantial testing. Similarly, I can have my substantial testing done for anything else. Now, very important question, very important point. Check the immediate steps taken if the amount is not recovered. There is a question like this, and I have recorded my answer also. While I recorded my answer, I felt that it needs to be put into my LFR. What to do? It needs to be put it into LFR. What to do? So select that item, go to the top. There is a facility of scoping from here also. So if you go and select your annexures, all the possible 100 and plus annexures of LFR will come into play. Okay, so you can see drawing power calculation mistake, credit report summation mistake, income tax details, defaulter list in RBI, sanction letter mistake. All of these are notified error codes of your closing circular given by the branch. Okay, missing of MODT document. So therefore, if there is a questionnaire of 10 questions, every question need not result into a negative answer. Every question need not be escalated to LFR or SO. So what we do here is, we will fill them up, and whenever there is a negative answer, you map it to that particular negative, this one. So second charge not created. This is a finding. Okay, so to be, again, this is an annexure. So when I say it is an annexure, the annexure needs to be filled. So I'm putting it to admin, and I'm going to my annexures. So what I did is I have mapped one particular negative. It is ensured and same. So that I can escalate it to my annexures at any point of time. I can escalate it to my reports at any point of time. Now you go to your reports screen. Under the reports, the reports are coupled with annexures. So if you go to these annexures, in the annexures, I have mapped one sample now. So that will be appearing here. So second charge not created is what I have created here. So to this, I have sampled out one item. So that will come and fall in this annexure. And then I can also collect some more data. So for this account number, what is the type of asset? What is the charge to be created? What are the remarks of the auditor? And what are the remarks of the auditee? And not only that, if I want to have a printout of all these annexures, I can go print all of these annexures by a PDF. So click it here. You can see all the annexures, 100 plus annexures that are available. So these are the adverse features, KYC documents, second charge not created, all of these. What are all the findings that we have created? What is a deficiency given? So this will become our documentation. Okay, so that way every single aspect was captured. Now I'll go to my pain point charter again, what it delivers to us. So how do we execute? How do we escalate our reports? How do we escalate to either reports or to annexures that I have discussed. Now, how do we draft our reports? So this I am going to take up now. Last but not the least is drafting. Rather, it is the ultimate step in our audit, or rather any audit. Every audit culminates into issuing a report. So how do I issue a report? Okay. Now, again, go to settings. Again, go to settings. You have a facility to capture or create any number of standard texts. So I go to my audit master. There is a facility by name standard text. So if you go to your standard text, lot of pre-written texts are available. Okay. So you can see NOC, no objection certificate of previous auditor. You need not draft. And you can also observe in this, there are certain items in the curled bracket. MAS name of previous auditor, stamp of office, they are in curled brackets. So wherever there is a curled bracket, what it means is it is a dynamic structure. It is a dynamic structure. So if you pull this standard text from the standard text, so what happens is, one, you need not draft. All the standard engagement letter, or you call no objection certificate or independence confirmation, all the standard texts, whatever we have to issue in our audit as a part of our documentation. See what happens, banker always takes care of his documentation. He will have an attendance sheet, whether 100 items are signed by the auditor, whether digital signature is given or not. He is having a very structured way to do. But most of the times the auditor will not have such a structure. Whether engagement letter collected, whether MRL collected, whether independence confirmation put on record, whether NOC obtained from previous auditor placed on record or not. So all of these things, the auditor will tend to miss. Now, there is no question of missing on that. And moreover, you need not draft this again. There are two advantages. One, the draft is already there. Two, the draft will be automatically updated when you change or when you give the values to this previous auditor value. Okay. Let us say the signing partner is there and the signing partner is used in 100 drafts. All 100 drafts are updated automatically. Okay. Not only that, there could be something that is tagged to our audit notes. So I'm just putting it like this. We have identified total non-provisioning of rupees dash. So this is one draft I have got. Okay. So in this, there is a dynamic text by name short provisioning on standard asset. What is the beauty of this is, if you use this draft, engagement letter 1 is the name of the draft. Okay, I'm just using it by going into the application. Just taking some area to showcase this. So what I'm doing is, pulling that engagement letter as a template. So automatically you can see some text had come. So you can see we have been appointed as branch auditors of so and so. We hereby submit, and then we have noticed that there is a short provisioning of rupees 20,000. How this 20,000 rupees had come? It is a dynamic text. It is a dynamic text. You have already seen it is there in a curled bracket. Now what happens if the audit progresses and some of our audit staff puts an entry or records a memo? So I'll record a memo. I'll keep it as it is, and I'll open a new page to demonstrate. So let us say I'm putting another memo. I'm issuing another memo. Or rather, I'm recording some notes. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my adjusted unadjusted misstatements. And in the adjusted unadjusted misstatements, I'm just adding up another one. So name of the impact, short provisioning on NPAs, and the amount, unadjusted amount is, let us say, 25,000. Noticed by Ram Prasad, let us say. So some audit entry was passed or some audit notes was recorded by our auditor. Okay. Now you go and observe here in this screen, it is 20,000. Now if I refresh, it will automatically move to 45,000. So it is a variabilized draft, very powerful. Okay, so first thing, you need not draft from the scratch. Every possible draft, the knowledge part, again, I'm going to the same thing. The knowledge part, it is already pre-built with lot of drafts, and you can also build anything on your own. That option is there. And the second thing is, it is coming with the dynamic text. You need not go and tweak that anymore. Okay, the moment you put something into your audit, it changes dynamically. Okay, we have seen the major problem is sometimes we see the profit and loss with profit, but the audit reports ends up with loss. Maybe the previous year copy paste kind of thing. Okay, maybe the year ending was not updated. Maybe some other item was scrapped out. Okay, so there is no such a question or there is no such a thing, because everywhere the draft has a dynamic text that needs to be updated based on the actual findings of the course of action. It is all captured. Okay, so this is exactly cut out around the requirement of the audit. So therefore, there is no question of tending to miss anything on that front. Okay, so that is a next pain point I just want to address, how to draft the report. So this is an end-to-end kind of a thing. As the name goes, it is any audit. You can perform your statutory audits, internal audits, or you can perform any audit for that matter. But then this exclusive pack, we are coming preloaded with all the checklists, questionnaires, reports, annexures, and risks that are which we have to use as per the bank audit. Not only that, you can explore it. There is a huge thing attached to that, and it is very simple. The interface is also very simple. Of course, it will take 2-3 days of time for us to acclimatize over that. That is there. That is undeniable. But then after that, it will be a smooth flow. Not only that, at every report, like I'm just give 1 or 2 examples. Like every report, let us say shortcomings in credit appraisal. This is an LFR report I have to issue. Now I have to give an answer to that. Okay. Now, in the opinion, what are the procedures and the loan application prepared? This is a long paragraph is there. That is there in the audit report. Now, if you click on this G symbol, G stands for guidance. If you click on this guidance, all the guidance note from the institute's material, every other document, that guidance is pre-built into the system. So not only that, you need not draft your report, but your every report, every paragraph is also supported by the text from the IRACNAM or from the guidance note, whatever the reading material that is required, it is already in place. So like that, you can go to multiple reports, multiple paragraphs of LFR. Let us say quick mortality. So what is quick mortality? What is the definition? Where is the definition written? If you click on G, the guidance note is like that. So where from it is taken? Guidance note on so and so. The definition of quick mortality is as under. So there is a ready-made guidance built around each questionnaire and also each report. So it is an application where you start the audit here, end the audit here. And let me revisit what I said again one more time. That is my final deliverability. I started with that. I'll go to that. Go to your audit documentation. Another major requirement of auditing is you must maintain a permanent file and current file. Of course, in bank audit, everything is of current file because there are very little chances that we may go to the same bank again. But anyway, whatever is required under the permanent file, like what are all the applicable laws, what are all the applicable licenses, what are all the key transactional arrangements, what are all the board meetings and minutes, you can record here. And these are current file. This is current file documentation, which we can, like, what is the correspondence we did with the management? What are the significant events occurring after the reporting date that have a bearing on the audit? What are the audit review notes and decisions? So there is a placeholder for everything that is provided in the auditing standard. Another beauty is working paper attachments. So wherever you attach in the whole system, there will be a log of all the attachments. So we may be attaching it while doing a checklist. We may be doing it while doing a questionnaire, but all attachments will come and sit and they're all cross-referenced. Okay. And the last thing that we do is sign off. So we have to sign off our audit. So I'm sorry if I miss any questions, I'll come to that again. No issue on that. So if I go to my sign off, so there is a sign off which gives me whether I have applied this SA 200, whether I apply SA 500, SA 610, whether I have verified gold loan, jewelry loan, whether I have filled this annexure or not. So therefore, if you see all the audit procedures that I have picked up, 80 procedures, they're all standing in a row. Okay. Now, can I close any one of them? You see, bill discount, can I close them? It will not allow. So if I go and close, what it says is, no, you cannot close the milestone until you close the earlier milestones. So therefore, you can sort them. Of course, you can put them as the first one. In which case, so what is your sequence? So what we got from our auditing standards is nature, timing, and extent of audit. Okay, so nature deals with what to do, timings deals with when to do what. Oh, so risk assessment comes first. Obviously, planning comes next. Execution comes later. Review or monitoring comes later. So there is a flow in that. Okay, and not only that, if let us say there is one questionnaire which I have just used, consortium banking. So I want to close this. Can I promote this as one? Of course, I can do that. My consortium banking audit or some other example is my first item. Can I close that? Just let us give it a try. It will not allow us to close because what it says is there are 12 pending items within the checklist. So go close that, then only it will allow. Okay. So these are the times of minimum staff. These are the times of minimum staff, high staff turnover. Okay. So unless we build some systems, some processes in place, some pre-written, see, almost I have completed the whole of the bank audit. I have covered sampling, I have covered drafting, I have covered the checks and like engagement letter, no objection certificate, all of them almost in more than 1 hour of time. I have taken a real data and I have completed. Okay. Of course, audit involves verification and execution of these checklist filling will take a lot of time if we go on field, but then we have got everything at one place. And once the audit is done, you just go to the final documentation screen, go to documentation, go to final documentation. It will pull everything into one place. It will pull everything into one place and it will generate it into a complete codified PDF. So just save this PDF, you're done for the year. That's it. Okay. So whatever it is, when it comes to what are the checklists used, what are the questionnaires used, let me show the questions, answers and all. Okay. So I'm sorry. Just let me take a relevant example. It's a bit lengthy checklist here. You can see whether there is a questionnaire here, whether the information to be confirmed by the party selected. There is an answer, yes, verified. So who filled this? This is the doer. Who had approved? Here. What is the status? Is it closed item or an open item? It is approved. Okay. So similarly, how my sampling is done? How my sampling is done? To go to the analytical log. So this is how my analytical log is there. Just all of these restructured loan sampling, I did it now as a demonstration. So I have selected 5 lakhs and then I have selected scheme containing restructured and then I have applied this checklist. So therefore you can observe all how I have picked up my sample. So this single sheet will prove that I did it without any bias and I did it with necessary thing. Okay, necessary professional due diligence. So therefore a 100-page PDF with almost like no effort. Okay, so as a small presentation on that, I have not exhausted this. Okay, so the power of this comes from simple thing by capturing and putting everything in its place. Okay. Any questions you have got? You can put it in the chat box. I think I have answered almost all the questions so far. Okay. And just 1 second. So we have got a full-sized audit module as well. We are coming out with this bank audit tool. So whoever had attended the seminar, we are providing an offer. Okay. So you can apply this coupon code WS Web Series /1. So this coupon code will offer you a discount. Okay. So whoever had applied, you can apply that. So as a this one, we are just as an introductory kind of a thing, we're coming out with a very nominal amount of the net payable, including GST, is coming out to 3333. So you can avail this coupon code, and in case of any other requirements, you can contact this contact number. This contact number is there on our website also. No requirement to record it as such. But then if you want a ready-made reference, you can also record that. And this coupon will be valid till April 3rd. This coupon WS/1 will be valid till April 3rd. Okay. And it will be valid only for the webinar participants today. Okay. Of course, as of now, we have kept it. We have not taken any attendance kind of a thing for any registered or for this one like that. It is available, and you can use this WS #1, and you can apply this coupon code. And we will also provide a comprehensive manual as to how to use this, where to record this. We are not measuring your usage. Okay. So it is 5 users can simultaneously use this in your office. Okay. But within your office, you can use up to 5 members. The data will be available in the site. You can use this actively for a period of 2 months of time. You can use the application, or 1 month of time, full of April, for your application. But the data backup will be there lifetime, and you can take back your data at any point of time. And for any other training kind of a thing, we are having 2-day training starting from April 1st and 2nd. April 2nd being Ugadi, an auspicious day, we are making it go live. Before that, you can practice that. You can give a test login also. Can use a test login also. And while using the application, if you have any doubt, any question, or any help that you are required, we are coming out with a chatbot at the bottom of the application. So click on that. Just introduce yourself by name and mail, and you can put any message or any question, any doubt, or any screen, any technical help that is required. So this is a way to interact. Okay. So with this, I'm stopping my demonstration. Any questions you have got, anything that we want to discuss on that, we are more than happy to reach out. Okay. So I think times have changed, and unless we use the power of automation, we will be using our energies at a wrong place. Okay, we'll be spending unnecessary time on compiling the data. So we just want to eliminate that nation wastage, and your time is precious. As a professional, we value your time, and our slogan is our motto. We want to give the maximum value add to the profession. So empowering auditing profession. Any audit, it is really system agnostic, but the knowledge bank that we are providing free is, in fact, the whole of the price that you pay. 70% it is to the cloud, and 20% it is to the knowledge. In fact, we are giving our application free of cost, but to get into the serious users, and also to make a beginning and into that, we are offering with this. So hope you avail this opportunity. We welcome you on board. For any technical assistance, you call on us. You call us on any of our mobiles or email or chatbot or anything of that. Okay. Any questions, please? If anybody wants to give a feedback, can you provide the user manual of the software? Yes, sir. Very much. The software comes preloaded with a user manual, and also there is a local help menu. Okay. So on every screen, we have got an help menu. So that also will help. And there is a user manual also, which will be provided. Yes, sir. Any questions? Any so we will be conducting a very small poll. We'll be sending a small feedback form to your mail. So kindly fill that feedback form, which will also help us fine tune it further according to your requirements and your this one. Any suggestions on that? Any suggestions on that, or any customization you want on that, or wherever you want to link it to your own databases, ERPs kind of API kind of integration and all, we have got that service as well. That's it from our side. So we thank you all for your participation for more than 1 hour 40 minutes. You have taken your professional time and spent with us. So we cherish this journey. Any questions, any comments you have got, please put it on a chat box. Or anyone want to add-ons are chargeable, sir? Of course, yes, because add-ons will take a lot of effort and time, and moreover, the add-ons are very short-lived. Because the thing is, add-on you're talking about conversion of a PDF into Excel, okay, or conversion of a text file into Excel. Okay. We have fairly covered up the ground. We have fairly covered up various banks. In fact, we have thought of putting it into this product itself, but then there are certain problems associated with that. Problem number one, the formats are very dynamic, and at times the banker is also changing the format from branch to branch. So sometimes if you take CCDP of SBI, sometimes certain columns are there, sometimes certain columns are not there. Okay, so based on if condition, they want to slim down their report. So when the total report itself is null, they are eliminating that stuff itself. So there is no generic code possible for that. So therefore, add-ons, we can either give a web-based add-on, or we can give a Excel-based add-on. Both are there. Add-ons are chargeable, sir, but it will be very nominal. API integrations, yes. What I mean by API integration is in bank audit may not be possible, but as a general, our AnyAudit has got a complete full-sized version. Okay, complete full-sized version which we can use. There we have an API integrations with Tally, Zoho, or QuickBooks, or SAP, any one of that sort. That is what I said. And even if you have any custom ERPs for your general auditing practice, there also you can have an API integration. That is what I said. That is what, sir. Murthy Apuji. We want to have integrated with our softwares. Absolutely possible, but it is on one-to-one customization. Okay. The system is built very neutral to any regulatory kind of a thing, environment kind of a thing. So we have the ability to interact with any other software, provided the other software gives the API. But what I said is that service will be on a one-to-one customization. The package cost and validity, Mr. Santosh asks us to explain me again one more time. Yeah. So this, we are giving it to a firm or individual. 5 user licenses will be provided. So 5 users can use it simultaneously within your office. Okay. Of course, please don't use it across the office. Okay, but we will be giving 5 users to your firm name or individual proprietor name. So your staff or article student and all can use. You can use this for a period of 30 days. You can use it for the course of audit. The fees is for 5 users for 1 month. That is around 600 rupees per user it is coming to. The cost of the package, what is offered is with the hashtag of WS #1, it goes with a net payable including GST of 3333. You can use the application for a time frame of 1 month. The data will be held for lifetime on cloud, no issue on that. If you want to take back your data, you're welcome. You can take back that data, no issue at all. So you can have a total backup, and then the instance will be deleted if you wish. Okay. This was built on AWS, got its security audit done. It complies with all the security and system requirements. I'm myself a DISA qualified chartered accountant, and we are also having the other team members who are domain experts and technocrats. Okay, I'm only front ending and I'm the founder member and I'm front ending it as a presentation. Okay, so therefore, hope I answered your question on cost and validity. Cost with this code is 3333 including taxes. Period of validity for usage 1 month. Period of validity for data lifetime. Okay, number of simultaneous users 5. So please do use our there is a razor pay facility on our this one. You can use this and you choose your subdomain name. That is very important, because every instance, if I give a user license, let us say you want to have a name SRK, so it is like SRK dot. So you want to go with some celebrity name SRK or AA whatever PK. So 1 second please. Yeah. So there will be an instance created on your username. It will be live. Any free trial for this software? Yes, there is a free trial available for this software, which we will be giving on 29th of March. Or you please push a mail, sir. We will transfer the licenses also. You please push a mail on contact@anyaudit.in. So that addresses are available on our website. So you push a mail on contact@anyaudit.in. We will send an sandbox also. You can have a hands-on kind of experience with that, and contact any of our executives over the phone number that I have already given, 8185 000 888. So you can use on that, and kindly refer to your friend circle. We are conducting the same. So any hand raises, sir? So, our office is saying that there is a hand raise from 2 or 3 participants during the course of my presentation, which I have missed because I was seeing my screen then. So, if you want to discuss anything, kindly raise your hand, sir. Put over, or if you want to have a voice chat, I can also ask my team to enable the audio sharing facility. Any questions? So we welcome you on board. We look forward for your patronage, and we also say that we have a very clear, committed workforce, and we can deliver on that. Also, we can give the licenses, and the total application will be made go live on April 2nd, which is Ugadi, and by which time the closing circulars of the banks will also be released. And we want to include the latest closing circulars of all the banks also into this. That is another reason for that. And there will be a 2-day training. There will be a 2-day training happening on that. So April, at your convenience, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, we will having a 2-day training at any point of time from the day you take the license on that. Apart from user manual, we can also have an interactive Zoom or Zoho kind of an interaction. I repeat the hashtag one more time. So this is a coupon code. So you go to our website, AnyAudit.in. AnyAudit.in. In the pricing section, there are 2 sections available there. One is general full sized, and the other one is a bank audit. Click on the bank audit. You will be guided to this. You can apply the coupon code here and then proceed to pay. There is a checkout facility, and it is linked with Razorpay, and you can avail this service. The coupon code will be of limited usage. So we welcome you to be on board. Thank you. I hope I have answered all the questions, and I'll be dropping in a form to all the mailboxes. kindly do fill that feedback form, which will be of immense value for us to fine tune or upgrade or even make any modifications and improve upon our own self. Okay, so we sincerely thank for the time that you have taken, and we look forward you on board. Thank you. Namaste.